A very good afternoon, class. So we have finished 3 chapters of our syllabus, secretarial practice. I hope you all are going through the chapters, and if any doubts, please let me know. Class, today before starting with the topic, let's play a game. The game is called 4 Fix 1 Word. You will be shown 4 pictures, and within 10 seconds, you have to guess what will be the answer. Are you ready, class? So you will have exactly 10 seconds to tell me the answer. Answer should be given only after the disclosure of all the picks. So even if you know the answer, wait for 10 seconds. Otherwise, it will be considered as a disqualification. So here goes the pictures. Observe them one by one. Your time starts now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bingo. So, can anybody guess the answer? Yes, the answer is letters. But this term is not suitable as for our subject. So as for the subject, we basically have to use the word business correspondence. So this we have already studied last year. Remember, class? Business correspondence means any communication done in the written format. It can be through letters, emails, fax. All these are termed as business correspondence. It means exchange of information in a written format for the process of business activities. Business correspondence can take place between organizations, within organizations, or between the customers and the organization. The correspondence is generally of widely accepted formats which are followed universally. As I told you, it can be in the form of a letter or email or in the form of fax. So class, today we are starting with the next lesson of our syllabus, but this is lesson number 6. So we have finished first, second, third, and now we are focusing on the sixth lesson. The name of the lesson is correspondence with members. So as the name suggests, class, in this lesson, as like last year, we studied 4 to 5 chapters on correspondence and writing letters. So similarly, this lesson deals with writing letters to the members of the organization. So in this particular lesson, we'll be seeing how to write 4 different types of specimen letters when a secretary is dealing with the members of the company. So are you all clear with the topic, class? Correspondence with members. Shareholders are the owners who contribute the capital for the company. As a chief executive officer of the company, the secretary comes in contact with all the members through correspondence. Secretary acts as a link between the directors and the members. This we have already studied last year. The secretary has to communicate the decisions of the management and other information to the members by through correspondence. The secretary should be very cautious and careful while corresponding with the members of the company. So when I'm talking about the members of the company, it can be all the investors, all the creditors, all the suppliers, all the public, all the customers who have invested money or who have purchased the shares of the company. Recently, we have finished the chapter issue of shares. We saw how the process of allotment of shares takes place. We saw how a share certificate is issued. We saw what is a bonus issue, what is a rights issue. Also, we covered the topics of IPO, that is initial public offer, and FPO, follow-on public offer. So basically class, the reason behind taking this particular lesson after the third chapter is whatever you will learn in the third chapter, the many of the things are being used in this particular lesson. So all the topics which we have already covered in the third chapter, we'll be seeing how practically the secretary responds and talks to the members of the company through correspondence, that is in written format, because it is very difficult for her or him to coordinate with each and everyone on the phone or talk personally. So this is a way by which the secretary can keep in touch with the members of the company and give them updates as well as solve their queries or any other doubts arising in the minds of the members of the company. So moving forward with the topic, there are some precautions which has to be taken by the secretary while corresponding with the members. The company secretary has to correspond with the members on various occasions. While writing various letters, the secretary should give due respect to the members, provide them complete and correct information. Thus, writing letters to the members is a challenging task and it requires skills, knowledge, and technique. So nobody can write any type of letter to the members because as we know, the secretary writes the letter in a particular format which requires certain skills that we had covered last year in the ninth chapter. Remember class, types of communication: oral, written, verbal, non-verbal. So remember the 6 C's which we studied: conciseness, completeness, courtesy, consideration. All these have to be kept in mind when a secretary writes letter to the members because it represents the goodwill, the reputation of the company, the face of the company. So it requires proper technique, skills, and knowledge. Now, some of the precautions which the secretary has to keep in mind are as follows, as I told you. Number one, the secretary should see to it that while dealing with the members, she provides correct information. She gives them proper up-to-date information and proper facts. There should be proper figures which should be disclosed and they should be accurate and reliable. The secretary should keep a difference between a fact and a myth. So the information provided by the secretary should be accurate, correct, reliable, and at the same time, proper facts should be disclosed. Number two, the language should be lucid. Lucid language means the secretary should keep in mind that the letter should be simple enough to read and understand. Harsh words, rude language, big sentences should be avoided. The letter should be written in a simple yet precise manner. There should be no need to write big paragraphs and 2 to 3 pages for the letter. So the language which is used by the secretary should be simple, precise, short, and understandable. The third one is prompt response. Prompt response means giving a quick response. The secretary should be quick enough to respond to the letters received of the members. For example, certain query letters should not be ignored or should not be kept for a longer period of time unattended. Similarly, complaint letters should be responded to in a very polite manner, not using harsh word or rude language by the secretary should be done. Therefore, the response by the secretary should be quick or prompt, avoiding delays in replying. While writing letters and responding to the members, the secretary should keep in mind that the secrecy of the company is to be maintained. While writing responses and replies to the members, the secretary should reply in such a way that the confidential information of the company, the secret of the company, is not disclosed in any manner, or those information which has to be kept within the members of the company should be kept by them or until then. There should be no action done by the secretary by which the secret information is leaked to the members or outsiders of the company. So these are the 4 precautions up till now. Giving you all 2 minutes to go through it in a quick manner. So one is providing correct information. Second, use of lucid language. Third, giving a prompt response. Fourth, maintaining the secrecy of the company. Moving forward, legal matters. While writing the letter, the secretary should keep in mind all the legal matters and all the provisions as laid down by the Companies Act 2013. And as we saw in the previous lesson, all the different types of acts. So as per the acts related to dividend, allotment of shares, or any other matter of the company, the secretary should keep in mind and follow the provisions and conditions as given in the Companies Act. Also, if necessary, he or she can take legal advice while writing letters or responding to the members of the company on any matter related to shares, allotment of shares, or any other matter related with the members of the company. As you can see the picture, thank you, I'm sorry, please excuse me. What does this represent? Correct. It represents courtesy or politeness. So as I told you in the previous point as well, the secretary while writing the letter should keep in mind that the courtesy or politeness is maintained. There should be no use of harsh language, rude words, or any words which can hurt the sentiments of the members of the company or the reader of the letter. So in any case, the secretary can use the word dear sir or respected sir, thanking you, then please, kindly. All these words should be used which represents politeness or courtesy. Also, while writing regret letters to those people, more care should be taken to see to it that the person who is reading the letter should not feel hurt and should understand the basis on which this application was rejected and not allotment and was not considered for allotment of shares. So in all these cases, the courtesy or politeness is very much essential. The next topic is consideration, that is give and take. Consideration means whenever writing the letter, the secretary should consider the you attitude. He or she should keep in mind that he or she has given importance or consideration on the you attitude. The reader should not feel as if the letter is written for somebody else. So consideration is very much essential while writing any responses or solving the queries or doubts of members of the company. So the you attitude must be paid attention to. Last but not the least, all these things represent one thing. Whatever you all are doing represents the image of the company. So the secretary, while writing the letters, should see to it that he or she maintains a good reputation of the company and always mentions good things about the company. Rather than talking about the demerits, the secretary should focus on highlighting the good, the strength of the company and showing that the members have taken a proper decision by investing or trusting on their company. So basically, building the image of the company depends upon the trust factor of the members of the company. So this is in the hands of the secretary because indirectly the secretary is acting as a link between the company and the members and communicating all the information from the company to the members and entertaining all the complaints, queries, doubts of the members regarding the company. So it is in the hands of the secretary to maintain the image of the company and always encouraging the members that their trust will always be maintained by the company in whatever actions, in whatever decisions they do. So these are some of the precautions the secretary should consider before writing letters to the members of the company. So I hope you all are clear with this particular topic. So moving forward, circumstances under which a secretary has to enter into correspondence with the members. So what are the different cases in which the secretary has to write letters or correspond or communicate with the members of the company? Some of the cases mentioned in your textbook are as follows. Point number 1. Just give me a second. So the following are the cases under which the secretary corresponds or communicates with the member. Allotment and regret letter. So as we saw in the previous chapter class, issue of shares, those people or those applicants whose application are being accepted by the company, the secretary informs them by sending them letter of allotment or allotment advice. In the same way, letter of regrets are written by the secretary to those applicants for whom, due to some reasons, they were not allotted any shares of the company. So in this particular case, the secretary has to write allotment as well as regret letters. Issue of share certificate. We also saw this in the last chapter as well. When the allotment of the shares procedure is done and the filing of return of allotment is done by the secretary with the registrar of the companies, then they can issue share certificates to all the applicants as an evidence or proof that they have purchased the shares of the company. So this issuing of share certificate is also done by the secretary. Issue of bonus shares. Whenever the company decides to issue bonus shares to the existing shareholders or employees of the company, the issuing of that particular thing is also undertaken, has to be communicated, has to be done through a proof or an evidence, that is by writing it in, by giving it in a written format. So all this is handled by the secretary. Execution of the rights issue. So remember class, what was rights issue? It is nothing but issuing of shares to the existing shareholders of the company. So basically, first the shareholders are given the preference to buy the shares of the company if they are interested in. So again, this part is also handled by the secretary, and as he or she has to write and issue the share certificate based on execution of rights issue. Letter for payment of dividend. Also, when the company gives dividend to the members who have invested in the company, that time the letter for payment of dividend also has to be sent to the members. So that work is also undertaken by the secretary. The dividend mandate. The dividend mandate is a form or an authorization which is given by the shareholders to the company that whenever the dividends are declared, the dividend should be directly credited into their bank account. So the shareholders submit this dividend mandate to the secretary, and it is the duty of the secretary to give the information and maintain the information in the same manner and update the shareholders regarding the same. So as you all saw, there are many cases wherein the secretary has to communicate with the members of the company relating to different matters. Again, there are some more cases we'll be seeing. So pay attention. Giving you all 2 minutes to revise the concept. The next is approval of transfer of shares. I hope you all remember this topic. Transfer of shares means if some members are willing to transfer their shares to other members, the approval of the board of directors has to be taken. The paperwork, all the written format has to be undertaken by the secretary. So once that approval is done, and then the names we have to enter in the register of members, as we saw all the procedure in the previous chapter, all this thing has to be undertaken by the secretary. Similarly, refusal for the transfer of shares. If the board of directors are refusing the transfer of shares due to any reason, all the reasons we saw in the previous chapter, so you can refer to the video of the previous chapter for all these topics which we have already covered. So again, the secretary has to be coming into consideration and seeing to it that all the paperwork and necessary corresponding thing is done in a proper manner. This we saw last year class, preparing the notice and agenda of the general meeting. So whenever the meeting of the shareholders is being conducted or board meeting has to be conducted, the notice and agenda is prepared by the secretary. And how to write the letter regarding this we already saw last year. Notice of loss of share certificate. In some cases, as we saw, the company issues duplicate share certificate in case if the certificate is lost, torn, mutilated. So in all these cases, again, typing the notice, issuing duplicate share certificate, all this has to be done by the secretary of the company. Also, we saw replying to the queries raised by the members. So the reply letters has to be typed by the secretary and replied to the members. So as we saw the third precaution, prompt response. So this is related to that. Letters related to transmission of shares to legal heirs. So again, when the transmission takes place due to death, insanity or insolvency, the letter of transmission of the shares also has to be typed and written by secretary of the company. So these are ample of cases wherein the secretary corresponds or communicates with the members of the company. But don't worry class, we are not going to study all the 13 different types of specimens. For your syllabus, we will be considering only 4 types of letters. The following are few of the circumstances under which a secretary has to enter into correspondence with the members. So class, this topic will be starting tomorrow. But just to give you a blueprint, what all types of letters we'll be covering, just have a look. These are the 4 letters for your syllabus which you'll be learning how a secretary writes and what is the format of writing these letters. Out of those 13 points, we are focusing only on 4 letters related to number 1, letter for issue of share certificate. Second, letter for payment of dividend. Now this is done in 2 ways, by giving dividend warrant or electronic payment of dividend, that is directly transferring into the bank account. Letter for issue of bonus shares and reply letter to the queries of the member on low rate of dividend. So class, from tomorrow onwards, we'll be focusing on one letter each. And as you all know, whenever we are learning the letters, you don't have to by heart them. You have to write and practice them, because compulsorily important 5-mark questions come on letter writing. So class, my request is from tomorrow onwards, when we are starting with the letter writing part, I hope you all write and practice the letters 2 to 3 times each, so that you understand what is the format of writing the letter, and it's very scoring topic. So until and unless you are clear with the third chapter, it will be very difficult for you all to understand the terms which are used in this particular letters. So class, before listening to video of this particular lesson, please go through the topics of lesson number 3, issue of shares. So we'll be starting with the letter writing part from tomorrow onwards. I hope up till now, whatever we studied, the topic is clear to you. So we stop here for today class. Thank you so much for listening to me.